Hi everybody, welcome to this week's question and answer video where I'm answering your guys' questions from the last video, last Monday. I do this every single Monday. Welcome new subscribers, new viewers, hello. I'm trying to help people, give people advice and suggestions on how to heal from different kinds of trauma. So a great way to heal is to understand it. It alleviates all kinds of shame, so I encourage all of you to please ask questions. Please, there's no bad questions. It doesn't matter how many repetitive questions there are. So please, I encourage ask, okay? And let me know what you think of my answers and keep asking questions. Thank you. All I ask is you guys leave your location. I just like to know where you guys are from in the world, and I think other people do too. I think it kind of helps us bring us together, kind of validates everyone's experience so that they don't feel so alone. These problems are human problems. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Wherever there's people or a group of people that abuse other people and exploit them exist. So let's try to understand what happened to us, okay? Ask questions. Thank you, guys. I like to recommend something every week. And this week, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. You guys recommend something. Something that has helped you the most, or something you know that helps you have better sleep, or helps with anxiety and depression, eating, energy. What was the best thing that helped you guys start this journey, this path onto healing from narcissistic abuse? Please go down there and share and let us know and help others. That'd be something that all of you can do to maybe help other people like yourself. That would be wonderful. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to see what you guys say, and maybe I can find some other recommendations that I haven't already recommended. And also, I was hoping you guys would go down there below and tell me, what days do you guys watch narcissist videos? What's your favorite days to watch videos about narcissistic abuse? I would really appreciate you guys telling me that, and I'll know what days to have videos come out more. Maybe I'll move the question and answer video if there's a day that's way more popular than Mondays. Thank you very much. So let's get started with the questions. There's some good ones. Christine from Montana. Hello, Christine. Thank you, David, for your kind reply to my question. You're welcome. Thank you. I will try to be more specific. It's a bad habit of mine. Oh, I asked Christine to be more specific, and you didn't do anything wrong. It's okay, Christine. I just want to be able to help you better, and I just wasn't quite sure how to answer your question. I thought it was just a little general, and I asked for specifics, and you did. Thank you. So you said my question was about parentification. Thankfully, yes, I am no longer a neglected child. I made a successful career out of the Navy. Thank you for your service. Although that was not a cakewalk either, I retired with a 100% VA disability. I think many of the choices I made in life are directly related to my upbringing. You're right, David. My parents sucked. I never look back and wonder what I did wrong anymore. I look back and wonder why they were awful parents. I was hoping you could try to explain the dynamics of why adult people would parentify children. Having a child, even if it wasn't planned, is supposed to elicit a hormonal and psychological instinct to want to be a caretaker, right? Yeah, for most. Why do some people just miss the boat completely? What is broken in them? Well, these are patterns that repeat themselves, and parents typically raise their children the way that they were raised and a little bit better. That's just usually typically how it goes. So your parents, if they neglected you or abused you, most likely that was the upbringing they had. And our parents are teachers. This is the important part. Our parents are just teachers, okay? And they're here to teach us how to attain the things that are most important to us, to navigate through relationships. And if your parents don't know, they can't teach you. So my guess, Christine, would be that your parents were raised in a similar situation where their parents didn't teach them what they needed to know to navigate through relationships, and they become dependent on others to keep giving them what they need instead of getting it for themselves. So your parents have children and they become dependent on you to give them what they need. Okay, and this is a cycle that keeps repeating itself, and it sounds like you're breaking that cycle. Yeah, you can look at it as alcoholism, another cycle in families that tend to repeat and repeat and repeat until somebody breaks that cycle and doesn't become dependent. And that's what alcoholism is, right? Dependency on something else to help me, whether it's cope with life because I don't know how to give myself what I need, or I can't handle the pain I've endured. So facing our pain, facing our past, healing from it, understanding it and talking about it and feeling a whole lot better about it, and then learning how to give ourselves what we need. Most important thing in our lives is our emotional needs, and having relationships with people where they can be met. And unfortunately, we're not born knowing any of it. We need teachers to teach us, all of us. And some get teachers that teach them because their teachers know it, and they repeats that healthy cycle. And some of us don't get what we need because their parents never got what they need and didn't break the cycle and keep being dependent on the children. So this is an emotional dependency. Whether it's just emotional attention and validation, as security. I could sit here and list all the emotional needs, but look up emotional needs, all of you, if you're interested in this subject and want to know what you missed out on. Emotional neglect means you didn't have your emotional needs met for you. And if you don't, then you don't know how to have them met for you yourself. Okay? So we don't become dependent on people to do this for us. We have to be independent, interdependent, and understand how to have our emotional needs met and to meet the emotional needs of others, the appropriate times to be vulnerable, and how to communicate. So emotional neglect is a missed out on communication, for one, and emotional communication. And not having this growing up, it makes us not be very good at communicating these things ourselves. Your parents may have taught you to be vulnerable all the time to people, and this is why you might be getting hurt. And everything in childhood that hurt us, that things that we don't understand and stuff like this, we believe that it's us, that we're bad people. And so there's a lot of shame involved in types of relationships like this. And so you have children now, and it sounds like, Christine, I mean, you're out here, you're looking to find answers. It sounds like you're being able to be vulnerable and introspect and look at yourself and look at your life. And so talk. I hope that you are talking to somebody, Christine, for a while, and keep getting all this stuff out that hurts so you feel better about it. Try to understand what happened to alleviate a lot of shame, and then start learning what your parents didn't teach you. That's what we really need to do, guys. If you're finding yourself in neglectful relationships in adulthood, it's typically because we had neglectful relationships in childhood. And not only does it hurt and cause shame, like I said, but we're not learning how to communicate to have our emotional needs met. It's the most important thing in our life. So we've got to learn how to do this, or we don't have our needs met, and we're sick. We're sick. If you don't have what you need, we're sick. We're dying. Okay? I hope that answered your question. Thank you, Christine. Let me know. Keep asking questions. Thank you for being more specific. And thank you for your service. Hazel from Alabama. Hi, Hazel. I was wondering if you have any recommendations on how to cope with nighttime anxiety from childhood abuse. I've tried so many things: CBD oil, melatonin, valerian root, ADMR, therapy, meditations, sleepy time, tea, etc. I'm only 23, and my doctor is worried about how high my blood pressure is. Wow, 23 and already having high blood pressure. These are all typical of emotional neglect and abuse as children. I made a video a week ago last Friday for you, Hazel, and anybody else that wants to understand exactly what's going on in your brain, in your body. This causes a chemical imbalance, okay, where things aren't working right. They aren't functioning right, which means a disorder, typically, okay? And learning and understanding what happened to you, what's going on in your brain, alleviates shame, okay? You said, I panic at night and get very irritable towards my husband, which sparks a lot of fights at night. I'm certain that I'm projecting my childhood abuse onto him, since my stepdad used to use bedtime to physically and sexually abuse me and would come drag me out of my bed. Bedtime is now this daunting, stressful thing, and there's almost always night terrors about my stepdad standing in the doorway. I wake my husband up screaming a lot, and I'm so tired I just want to sleep. That is awful. Awful, awful. I'm so sorry, Hazel. You're 23. You said you've already tried therapy. Not enough. Period. Not enough. Not the right therapist. Not the right help. Okay? We don't give up, and we keep trying, and we keep finding the appropriate therapist that is the help that we need. All right? So at 23, if you're experiencing this, there is much more to heal from. And the number one way to do that is therapy. You said you've tried at 23. I hope you haven't tried and given up already. And I know that there's a lot of therapists out there that either, whatever it is, whether they don't know, you don't communicate with them well enough, you don't understand them, they don't understand you. This happens, okay? There's mechanics that can't fix your car, and doctors that can't help you, and lawyers that can't give you the legal representation you need. This happens in every profession, and I'm very sorry for your experience, and everybody out there has had bad experiences. I have too, but I've also had great experiences, and it's necessary. It's not just number one, it's mandatory. We cannot heal from this without talking. And talking to our friends and family doesn't work. It doesn't work. We can bounce things off of them and get some support, encouragement and things like this, and express our feelings, but it's not enough. We need to hire somebody that listens, that we can trust, and give us feedback and help us understand, and then start teaching us the things that we need. There's all root causes for all of this, and you said, I think you said, you know that it's probably from your childhood. So we need to know really well what it is, okay? Really, really well. There's all kinds of things you can do for better sleep, but until we fix that core issue, it may never get better, okay? We don't want to live with anxiety, panic, nightmares, things like this, and these are all symptoms of a stress disorder. I'm not saying you have one. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing you, but at least that's one direction to start looking, especially the high blood pressure. In the video that I made a week ago last Friday, I talk about what's happening in the brain, and I discuss this, okay? So I can sit here and tell you all kinds of things you can do to just get better sleep, but it won't be fixed until we heal from our past. It won't. It just won't. As long as we are still stuck in these traumas, we can't get better, okay? I'm also wondering about the relationship with your husband. If we're not healed from these relationships from our past, we may not have the healthiest marriage that is giving you everything that you need. Very important, okay? So, I mean, I made a video called Sleep Hygiene. It's in my playlist titled Healing CPTSD. That's how all of you can find it. I can go on and on and on about all kinds of things. I'll give you some. So we need to exercise every day. And we can't exercise late at night or it raises our stress chemicals. Okay? What's probably happening to you is that you have a part of your nervous system that's releasing tons and tons of stress chemicals because you're not sure how to navigate. Maybe your marriage is still stressful. Maybe you're having triggers and constantly thinking about your past, where it all started. And then the other part of our other nervous system that deals with releasing calming hormones isn't working anymore. And so we have just stress chemicals and nothing to help us calm. Okay? As soon as our brains calm down and there's no more stress in our life, that's when we can start healing. The number one way to heal physiologically is sleeping. And so it's absolutely mandatory we get better and better sleep. But like I said, you can, the things that you listed besides the therapy is supplemental. It's things to help you get better sleep now, but there's a core issue we need to fix, okay? Meditation, so we exercise. We don't exercise late at night. At nighttime, we turn all our lights off like it's night. If we leave the lights on, it makes us stay awake. We need to get on a better sleeping pattern, so in the morning we turn all the lights on, open our blinds and stuff like this. Are you drinking coffee? We got to cut out caffeine. Big time. It's amazing to me how many people suffer from anxiety and don't sleep well and drink coffee all day. So this is a real commitment. Sleep has to be a real commitment. And I advise making a regiment and plan out so that you have enough time to sleep. If you have to be up at 8 in the morning, we can't stay up till 2 and get 8 hours. That's obvious. But we can't go to bed at midnight to get 8 hours. If we know that we wake up periodically and get up and we lose sleep that way, we're going to have to go to bed earlier. And I know a lot of people are just like, oh God, I don't want to. You don't have to. If you want to have a better, healthier life, then I suggest you try. At least give it the best shot you can. And it takes real commitment. So we come up with a regiment, and it starts at a certain time to give yourself enough sleep, and we start slowing our brains down. Be mindful of what you're doing at night. We don't want to get into arguments. We don't want to watch the news or anything stressful, okay? And we don't want to exercise late at night. We don't want to eat too late at night. And so when we start this regimen, we turn on I get all my senses going. Okay, so first starts with a comfortable bed. Make sure your bed's comfortable. I advise using a body pillow and keeping it a little cool in your room and warm in your bed. There's all kinds of things you can do just for better sleep in your bed. Whether it's a heavy weighted blanket or a better mattress that keeps your spine straight, sleeping on your side and using a body pillow, things like this, a cooling pillow. There's all kinds of things you can do like that. When we start this regimen, we turn on a specific light, a specific sound, okay? And we meditate, we control our breathing. These are things that help us with trauma anyways. We write a to-do list, what we need to do the next day, write it all down so we don't think about it anymore. We start thinking about it, say, I write it down, I already know what I have to do. We don't, we set our alarm and turn the clock away and don't look at clocks anymore. Our alarm's set, it's gonna get us up. We don't need to keep staring at the clock because it makes our brain, you know, we start stressing out. Oh God, there's another hour sleep lost. Oh God, there's another, oh my God. And if you get up, let yourself get up. Give yourself enough time to get up, okay? There's more. I mean, I talked about sight and sound. I use, I can't show you, but I use LED lights. And I found a color that really helps me calm down. When you turn that color on at night, hopefully your brain starts saying it's time for sleep. There's also aromatic things you can do that calm you. And when your brain starts smelling this, it's time for sleep. And we start by meditating, and you decide how long that time period is going to be before you go to bed. And we shut everything off way before. We have the dark out, dark in the house, things like this. There's supplements you can take for better sleep. Like I said, those stress chemicals are being released in your body by your adrenal gland. And so taking something that calms your adrenal gland will help you. It'll also help with fatigue. A lot of us that have these kinds of problems with bed, we usually are still tired during the day. That might be adrenal fatigue. So take something for that, natural. You have things for all your stress chemicals, adrenaline and cortisol, and there's several more that you can take that helps calm you like this. Yeah, Hazel, you know, you can always schedule a session with me and I'll help you more. There's a whole bunch more advice I can give you, okay? And I'm sorry, I really am sorry that you're having problems like this. I would recommend marriage counseling too. I'm not saying you have any problems, but if you're dealing with this kind of stress still, it's going to be causing problems in your marriage, like you said it is. And I wonder how this marriage is for you. I wonder if it's rewarding, calming, and loving, or if it's causing any stress. And if there's any problems in your marriage, like everybody has, we need to fix them. And if you're not sure how, get help to do that. These problems must be fixed because these are all relationship issues. You have relationship issues as a child, and if you're having them now, we need to fix these, okay? We need to fix it, period. Okay, Hazel? Please keep asking me more. The CBD oil, the melatonin, the valerian root, ASMR, sleepy time tea, these are all great and can help. But if they're not helping, there's a bigger issue, Hazel, okay? Bigger. And don't give up on therapy, please. You're so young to be giving up on therapy. You may have had 1, 2, 3 therapists that couldn't help you, but we can't stop. We can't give up. There is help out there available for everybody. I have clients all over the world, and I have experienced great therapists in every country so far, from Australia to Canada, all over the United States, all over the United Kingdom, Europe, Asia. I have. So they're out there, and all of you are worthy of it, okay? Thank you, Hazel. I'm sorry. Keep asking me questions. TB from Pennsylvania. Hi. So many consider music to be calming or uplifting and even healing. For me, it had always been to act more as a trigger. Is that common? Well, triggers are your past, okay? So we all have different past, different stories. We all feel differently about it, especially now after time passes. I don't know how common that is. I haven't heard that to be common. But if there's music that you listen to while you're being severely traumatized and we listen to it again, that makes sense. So again, we need to heal from our past. That's why we have triggers. People that are healed no longer have triggers. I can talk about any traumatic experience I've had in my life now, and it doesn't bring up any emotions anymore. All right? You know, have you tried all kinds of different music? One healing, I think, is a really healing kind of music is kind of a beat, a tribal beat. There's all kinds of different tribal beats. That tends to help. It can help us meditate. But as long as you keep healing from your past, I'm hoping that soon music won't be triggering to you, okay? And I'm sorry, anybody else can say out there if they're triggered by stuff like that too. I have not heard of that yet, till now. And let's see, Michelle from Pennsylvania. Both of you are from Pennsylvania. Hi, Michelle. We appreciate your videos, sunny and beautiful in PA. Enjoy your week. Oh, thank you. And I guess the TV show is right, huh? It's always sunny in Philadelphia. Thank you, Michelle, very much. That's sweet. David from Canada. Hello, David. Another great informative video. Hope you are well. Thank you. Hope you are too. Was watching one of your older videos, Envy, the Narcissist Motive, from way back in 2017. Very informative video. Wondering if you think that since BPD and NPD are so similar with overlapping traits, are many BPD driven by similar motivations? Or is the BPD individual more motivated by jealousy? I understand that is more of a blanket statement, but just want to hear if your opinions have changed on envy and whatnot since 2017. So, real quick, jealousy is afraid of losing something, right? I'm very jealous of my girlfriend because she talks to other men, right? That I'm afraid of losing her to other men. Envious is different. Envious is I want what you have, and I want to take it from you and destroy you for it. That's envy. It's these emotional feelings of, I want that, I want that. And typically envy comes from, I can't attain it myself. And so the difference between BPD and NPD, motivated, driven, is, and I think BPD and NPD can both be extremely jealous. And jealousy comes from insecurity, okay? And so can envy. It's that I can't attain it myself, I'm not good enough, things like this. And so your specific question, wonder if you think that BPD and NPD are driven by similar motivations. You know, it is general because yes, some can be, but there are both very specific, distinct, different disorders with distinct criteria. And so going by that, I would say NPD, narcissists, are very envious of things. They want things from other people, and they also think people are envious of them. They're very based on status, aren't they? And so their status is based on material things, attaining things, jobs and money, okay? So a narcissist will be envious of somebody that they think is more important than them, that has higher status than them, that has the things that they want. Where I've noticed with BPD, their envy, they idealize relationships so much that they will want other relationships they see that fit that idealized mold. And so it's very common for people with BPD to chase after unattainable people, and very common to go for married men, married women, things like this. They see that relationship, I want that, I can't do it myself, I'm incapable, so if I steal this man, I'll have that. And that's the kind of envy I've noticed with borderlines. Hope that helps, David, and thank you very much. Let me know, please. And Sarah, don't know where you're from, but you said, my mum said to me, and that means, I think, you're from England, I'm gonna guess, because they say mum, M-U-M. My mum said to me, you're no spring chicken anymore when we were talking about working. The comments are always so awful. I was apparently swimming in martini. Is that why my health is so bad? And I don't know if you meant swimming in martini or something else. It's actually, it still works, huh? A toxic martini. Is that why my health is so bad? Again, go back to a video I made a week ago, last Friday. The thumbnail has a little brain scan on it, and it'll tell you exactly why your health may be so bad. We cannot live with this kind of abuse. You're no spring chicken anymore, you know. And I'm, you know, that comment alone, out of context, isn't that bad, right? But what matters, and all that matters, Sarah, is how it makes you feel, okay? And so these kinds of feelings, which are emotions, meaning our body doing things, If our body keeps doing negative and having negative feelings from stuff like this, it will cause disease. It can cause disease eventually. All kinds of problems. All kinds of problems. I described them in the video I made. But we are talking from migraines to all kinds of bowel problems to disease like cancer, MS, things like this, okay? So you'll notice if you get away from this person or learn how to have the relationship on your terms, hopefully you'll notice that your body starts getting better, okay? Starts feeling better. Thank you. And I have from Cynthia, it just says, thanks, Dad. I don't know if that's facetious or trying to be funny. You're welcome, Cynthia. And Jennifer Ellis from the United Kingdom. Hello, Jennifer. You're talking about a question you had that you said I missed, and I went back last week and still didn't see your question. Make sure all of you guys ask questions on the very current Q&A. If you're watching one from 2 months ago, I may not find it, may not see it. And so just go, whatever the question is, doesn't matter, in any of my videos. If you really want to make sure I answer your questions, just go back on the latest, most recent question and answer video, and I'll answer it, okay? But I'm trying to get down to where this starts. Could you mention the importance of protecting our sexual health? Women can get the HPV virus that can lead to cancer cells of the cervix. As a victim of abuse, did not take good care due to controlling, forceful ex who traumatized me by gaslighting and manipulation. Yeah, I mean, any STD. I've heard horror stories. Young women, the first time they ever have sex, they get diseases. And this is all about our parents teaching us when to be vulnerable, to take things slow, when is appropriate time to commit to somebody, okay? And if we didn't get what we need as children, we have a big void here, and that's not enough love. And we weren't taught to love ourselves to fill this void, and so we look for somebody to fill this void. And if we look hard enough, we'll always find someone willing to try, okay? And they'll start telling you all kinds of things, and they raise your hormones, and it makes us feel amazing. And now we found everything that we needed in life, except from us, inside us. We found it in another person, okay? And we're willing to be more vulnerable and willing to do what the other person wants and jump right in these relationships, have unprotected sex right away, have children, unwanted pregnancies, and disease. And I'm awfully, awfully sorry. Very extreme, common problem with situations and experiences like this. Thank you, Jennifer. If you have more specific questions, please keep asking me. And Lynn from the United States again. Hi, Lynn. Hi, David. One of the greatest blessings you have given so many people is the understanding that we were never meant to carry shame with us. That other people put it, I mean, you know, God, parents encourage us to try, not shame us not to try and fail. That other people put it there because their inability to cope or handle constructive parenting. The reasons of my comment is that although I don't have children of my own, I think many of us will still find tremendous value in how to provide feedback that doesn't induce shame in other people, whether they be children or adults. Maybe even an entire 20-minute segment with examples and role-playing and how to communicate how we feel and what we would like without blaming, shaming, or judging. I've been practicing this for the last 10 years now, and at least it really has changed my relationships. It feels wonderful to gain new and effective skills to better communicate and make lives better for ourselves and others. P.S. I heard that it's not necessary to be a perfect parent. It's only the ability to be a good enough parent that results in well-adjusted, mature children growing up. Isn't that a blessing? Yes, it is. The simple act of striving to do better and be better is enough. Absolutely. And accepting that we make mistakes along as we go, and it's the best way to learn, and we apologize to our children and try not to repeat those mistakes. And that's how we teach children to do that as well, to accept their failures, to accept their mistakes, and not beat themselves up, okay? Thank you. And I will. I've been planning on it now. I will do more videos on communicating, emotional communication, responsibility, and accountability, how to get the things that we need. I've made many videos about emotional needs and stuff like this, but that would be that could be one of the best informative videos for you guys, because healing from our past is necessary. Making ourselves feel better is necessary. And protecting ourselves from toxic people and stuff like this is necessary. And also how to have healthy, loving, functional relationships for the rest of our life. That is the most important necessary. Okay, so I will do that. Thank you for the recommendation, Lynn. And that is it for the questions. Thank you, all of you. If you could please, again, go down below and tell me what day is your favorite day to watch Narcissist videos. I really appreciate that. Say hi, let us know where you're from, and always ask tons and tons of questions, okay? Let's keep learning, and you may be asking a question that can benefit 100 other people, okay? So thank you, all of you. Love yourself first. Anybody that wants coaching, you can find me at daviddemars.com. Subscribe to my channel, please. Vote up or down. Tell me why. Ask questions. Share this if you can. And always love yourself first. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.